Hello, welcome to my video. This is the Human Resource Management Final Exam video and it has two parts of video. This is the first part and it contains of answering 22 quiz questions and also review 7 videos that are related to Human Resource Management course. So let's get started with the quiz questions. Question number 1. Tools a company uses to manage employees are, the answer is human resource practices. So human resource practices is a tool a company uses to manage employees. Question number 2. Support function that designs and implements company policies for managing employees is, the answer is human resource department. Question number 3. Ensuring employees have the necessary knowledge, skills, abilities, and other talents to achieve work objectives falls under which of the following categories? The answer is managing employee competencies. Question number 4. When practices within each human resource activity are consistent with each other, there is blank alignment. The answer is internal alignment. When practices work in concern with one another, as well as with external challenges companies face, there is blank alignment. The answer is external alignment. Question number 5. Which of the following are not environmental influences? The answer is employee concern. So employee concern are not environmental influences. Question number 6. In labor force trends, the fastest growing ethnic groups are blank and blank. The answers are Asians and Hispanics. So Asians and Hispanics are the fastest growing ethnic groups in labor force trends. Question number 7. A plan for achieving a competitive advantage that influences how employees add value, impacts types of job employees perform, and affects attitudes and behavior employees display is, the answer is strategy. Then, question number 8. In a blank strategy, jobs are geared toward creativity or customer service. Employees hired with specific skills and new perspectives. Jobs require cooperation, creativity, and knowledge sharing. And pay is based on individual potential or team accomplishment. The answer for the blank is differentiation strategy. Question number 9. Which justice deals with fairness in what individuals receive for their efforts, compensation for time and effort put into jobs, and how employees feel they are treated by their manager? The answer is distributive justice. So distributive justice is deal with fairness in what individuals receive for their effort and compensation for time and effort put into jobs. Question number 10. Which international strategy involves serving markets within a particular country? The answer is domestic strategy. So domestic strategy is international strategy involves serving markets within a particular country. Question number 11. Which international strategy involves establishing autonomous business units in multiple countries? There is a local responsiveness to try to meet the unique local needs of their country. The answer is multinational strategy. So multinational strategy is an international strategy that involves establishing autonomous business units in multiple countries. Question number 12. Treating people differently because of characteristics that have nothing to do with their ability to perform. The answer is discrimination. So discrimination is treating people differently because of characteristics that have nothing to do with their ability to perform. Question number 13. When an employer intentionally discriminated because of a characteristic that defines the protected class disparate, blank has occurred, the answer is treatment. But when the employer unintentionally discriminated against a member of a protected class, then disparate blank has occurred. The answer is impact. Next, question number 14. Submission to sexual conduct in math is math explicitly or implicitly a condition of employment? The answer is quid pro quo. Question number 15. One issue with ADA law was an employer with limited financial resources would not be required to spend large sums of money for accommodation. What is the term for this? The answer is undue hardship. So undue hardship is the term used when an employer with limited financial resources would not be required to spend large sums of money for accommodation. Next, question number 16. Blank is determining job tasks and responsibilities employees are expected to perform. The answer is job design. So job design is determining job tasks and responsibilities employees are expected to perform. Then, question number 17. Blank are the written summaries of the specific tasks and blank are the competencies required by a job holder to be able to perform the job successfully. The first blank answer is job description and the second blank answer is job specification. So job description are the summaries of the specific tasks and job specifications are the competencies required by a job holder to be able to perform the job successfully. Question number 18. In the efficiency approach, this remove decision-making authority from employees and place it with a supervisor. The answer is job simplification. So, job simplification is the efficiency approach that removes decision-making authority from employees and place it with a supervisor. Question number 19. Which of the following is true about the job characteristic model in the motivational approach? Answers. Identify 5 job dimensions and 3 psychological steps that affect motivation and satisfaction. Next, question number 20. Which employee team is a cross-functional group that addresses a problem or issue and members retain their former position as well? The answer is parallel team. So parallel team is a team that is cross-functional group that addresses a problem or issue and the members retain their former position. Question number 21. In job analysis techniques, which approach use a single instrument to collect data, uses functional job analysis, and uses position analysis questionnaire? The answer is standardized approach. So, standardized approach is an approach that uses a single instrument to collect data, uses functional job analysis, and uses position analysis questionnaire. Then, the last question, question number 22. In job analysis techniques, this customized approach focuses on analyzing employee competencies rather than on tasks to be performed. The answer is job element. So job element is one of the analysis techniques that custom approach focus on analyzing employee competencies rather than on tasks to be performed. That's all for the quiz question, and let's move to the video review. First video explains about human resource strategy and training. In this topic, I learned there are 5 strategic priorities of a company. They are innovation strategy, brand strategy, price strategy, design strategy, and the last is quality strategy. A company can only be good in one strategy and cannot be good on all strategy because the company has limited resource and it becomes their competitive advantages that the company has. What they need to do is focus on their strategy so that they can win in the market and can survive for a long period. Second video explains about introduction to human resource management. In this topic, I learned about the definition of human resource management and the trends that determine the future challenges. Human resource, sometimes called as human capital, because human is also part of an asset company. The thing that differs it from the other asset is that human is unique as each human has different behavior. The definition of human resource management that I get in the video is all plan and control activities of an organization to build and maintain the relation between employees and the organization in order to meet both business objectives and employees' expectations. Third video is about compensation and benefits. In this topic, I learned there are factors that determine the amount of compensation given to an employee. These factors are performance, cost of living, market, and company success. I also learned about total reward is combination of total compensation and non-financial reward. The last thing that I can get in the video is there are 4 types of benefits. First is security, second is health, third is financial, and the last is offerings. Next, fourth video is about total quality management. In total quality management, we must learn about quality management, quality control, statistical quality control, and quality assurance. In order to create a good quality product, the company must improve the process by involving the employees in the process. A manager should encourage and give motivation to the employees to share their idea and execute that idea without fear, and do that idea in a teamwork. The manager can create a small team to solve a problem, and if it is necessary, give them proper training. Then I also learned about the techniques used in total quality management. First is information sharing and transparency of operation. Second is involvement in decision making, and the last is cultural transformation. Next, fifth video is about employee welfare. Employee welfare relates to taking care of the well-being of the employees and workers by the employer or government. Employee welfare includes the service and facilities needed in order the employees can perform their work in a healthy place. The measures of welfare inside the workplace are the condition of the work environment. Second measure is convenience. Then the third is workers' health service. Fourth is women and child welfare. The fifth is workers' recreation. The sixth is economic services. Then the next are employment follow-up, workers' education courses, and the last measure is labor management participation. Next, the sixth video is about safety and health. Safety means free from the risk of injury. Organizations should protect their workers from the danger of industrial accidents. There are some types of accidents that the organization should prevent. They are internal or external accidents, major or minor accidents, fatal or disability accidents, and temporary or permanent accidents. To make a good safety program, organization must first identify the root causes for accidents. After that, identify potential hazards and provide effective safety facilities and safe equipment and take prompt remedial action. And then announce and adopt the safety policy. After adopting the safety policy, managers and supervisors should be on full accountability for the safety. The last is continuous training on safety awareness and equip personal protective. Then the last video is about organization culture. Organization culture is a belief based on a common perception by the individual in the organization which constitute common shared values. There are several types of organizational culture. First is dominant culture, which comprising the common shared values of most of the members of the organization. Then there is strong culture. In a strong culture, the organization's common shared values are not only widely shared, but also held with high intensity. Strong culture has a high degree of influence the behavior of the members. Then, there are 5 functions of culture. First is as boundary defining role. Second, give the sense of identity. Third, it helps the people in the organization to develop a commitment. Fourth function is it implicit do and don't to the employee. The last function is it gives meaning to the appropriate behavior by shaping the attitudes of people. That's all for the first part of Human Resource Management Final Exam video. See you on the second part. Bye bye. Hello, welcome again to my video. This is the second part of the Human Resource Management subject final exam. In this video, I will answer 8 questions that are related to the everyday Human Resource Management lecture in class. So, let's get started. Question number 1. Do you attend the Human Resource Management lecture every Tuesday? Why do you always attend it? I always attend the Human Resource Management lecture every Tuesday and also never left to come to the class. The reason I always attend the Human Resource lecture is, of course, because I want to study about the Human Resource Management course. I want to understand all the chapters that are related to Human Resource Management. That is also will affect the grade that I will get in the Human Resource Management class. I want to get a good grade in this course, so that's why I always attend the class every Tuesday, listening to my friend's presentation, trying to understand the topics that were presented, and finally this will aid me in the end for answering the questions given, especially in midterm and final term. Question number 2. Did you used to be absent from attending the Human Resource Management lecture on Tuesday? Why or why not? Like I have said in the question number 1, I always attend the Human Resource Management lecture, so I never absent in that lecture. I don't want to be absent in a class because it will make me feel uncomfortable, or in other words, it makes me feel left behind from the others because I didn't listen to the topic that was presented in that day. As long as I am not in urgent situation that makes me must absent from the class, I will come to the class. Question number 3. Does the Human Resource Management lecture you have attended give you the benefits? Why? What benefits can you get from attending this Human Resource Management lecture? The Human Resource Management lecture that I attend gives me much benefit because of the unique teaching. Every student must present the topics that they get, including me, and explain the topics to the others on the assigned day. I also get a topic of labor economics, so I must study the topic first and must understand it all before I explain it to my friends to make sure that the topics I presented is clear and understandable. This way of teaching will make sure that each student will master at least one topic. That is the first benefit I get. The second benefit is I can evaluate myself and get to know my friends' capability from explaining the topics given to them, and all of them are unique and independent. That was a very good experience in studying the Human Resource Management course, and it was fun also. Question number 4. What department will you choose? Marketing, finance, or Human Resource Management? Why? Before I entered the Human Resource Management class, I already decide the department that I will choose when the time for me to choose the specific department comes. From elementary school until now, I really like numbers, so I will choose the finance department. The other reason why I choose the finance department, apart from I like numbers, I also feel like I can do well in the finance subject and I have my passion in the finance department. I will choose something that I like, not choosing something that is majority. Some people might feel like to join the majority even though it is not what they really want. So I will choose what I want and like, and I will do my best in my decision so that I will never feel regret. Question number 5. How do you find the Human Resource Management lecturer's way of teaching? The method used in teaching and the materials given. Give the reasons to your opinion. The Human Resource Management way of teaching is unique and fun in my opinion because the one that explain the topics are my friends, not the lecturer. Each of them has one topic to present and they must explain it in front of class, including me also present one of the topics of Human Resource Management course. This kind of teaching is new for me and I can get some benefit from it. First is because I also present one of the topics of Human Resource Management course. I must study that topic and understand it before I explain it to my friends. This makes me can master that topic well. The second is I get to know more how my friends present, the way they present, their capability to explain, and their behavior when they present. I think that This way of teaching is interesting and fun. I can find new experience from it, and it also tells me how good I understand the topic that I was present. Next, question number 6. What human resource management book is used in studying human resource management? Is the book used applicable in the companies in Indonesia? Mention the title of the book used, the number of chapters and pages, and the title of the chapter. The book that I use for studying the human resource management subject is titled Human Resource Management by University of London. This book is applicable in the companies in Indonesia, as it is concerned with recruitment, selection, motivation, reward, training and development, and others that mostly describe the situation faced by many companies, including companies in Indonesia. The number of the chapters are 14 chapters, and it has 264 pages. So, chapter number 1, the title, Human Resource Management, Theories, Models, Policies, and Practices. Chapter 2, Recruitment and Selection. Chapter 3, Training and Development. Chapter 4, Attitudes and Behavior. Chapter 5, Psychological Contracts. Chapter 6, Reward and Motivation. Chapter 7, Performance Management. Chapter 8, Job Design. Chapter 9, Employee Involvement and Participation. Chapter 10, Organizational Justice. Chapter 11, Diversity and Equal Opportunities. Chapter 12, Labor Economics. Chapter 13, Human Resource Strategies and High Performance Work System. And the last chapter, Chapter 14, Studying Human Resource Management. Next, question number 7. Please describe what you can get from watching your friend's presentation after the midterm test. Mention their names and the topics they presented. Explain the conclusion of the topics that they taught in their presentation. First presenter is Yaya Al-Fatih, present the talent and competence based on human resource management topic. The conclusion of the topic is that talent and competence is different. Talent is a gift that someone has from when he or she was born, and it makes them superior than the other. Meanwhile, competence is the mixture of skill, talent, and knowledge. Furthermore, based on Spencer, competence has two types. First is motive competence, and the second is knowledge competence. Second presenter is Frederick Christian, present the health and safety in the workplace topic. The conclusion of the topic is that health and safety in the workplace is very important for the company to take care, as it is influencing the employees to achieve the organizational goals. The company should create a health and safety policies so that the employee can feel safe when doing their work in the workplace, and it can minimize the risk of non-desirable accidents. If the employee feels safe in the workplace, it will give the company some benefits that are more productivity, lower absence, and lower cost of accidents. Third presenter is Andre Giovanni, present the International Human Resource Management. The conclusion of the topic is that the reason why the International Human Resource Management exists is because of globalization. The globalization makes the boundaries between countries become smaller, and it makes the multinational corporation to grow more. In international human resource management, you will have the same human resource activities, such as recruiting, training, and rewarding, but it has more difficulty because it is global and have more diversity like in economy, human capital, and culture. Fourth presenter is Ideal, present the talent management. The conclusion of the topic is that talent management is the tool used to attract, retain, motivate, and develop the talented people. There are 9 elements that need to know in talent management. They are the resourcing strategy, attraction and retention policies, talent audit, role development, talent relationship management, performance management, total reward, learning and development, and the last element is career management. Fifth presenter is Paradiba Soraya, present about human resource strategy and high performance work system. The conclusion of the topic is human resource strategy is used for determining what the organization intends to do about the different aspects of its human resource management policies and practices. The purpose is to guide the human resource management development and implementation program, provide basis for strategic plans, and provide vision for the future. Sixth presenter is Yahya Al-Fatih, Alipah, present about frontline manager. The conclusion of the topic is frontline manager is a person who manages a work group to a higher level of management hierarchy and is placed in the lower level. Frontline manager has some basic roles. They are people management, monitoring work processes, checking quality, dealing with customers, and measuring operational performance. The seventh presenter is Devi, present about management and leadership for human resources. The conclusion of the topic is leadership in human resource management is very important as it will boost the efficiency and effectiveness of doing the tasks in the organization. A leader must have good leadership to lead its team, to define the task clearly and direct them to do their tasks in order to achieve the goal. A good leader also must have good communication with the team to build a good relationship so that there is a trust with each other. By doing so, it will lead to the success of the team and the success will influence the performance of the leader. The last presenter is Eliza, present about human resource policies. The conclusion of the topic is human resource policies are the guidelines used in an organization intends to adopt in managing its people. The policies can be concerned with recruitment, promotion, compensation, and training. The purpose of the human resource policies is to help the organization to meet its goals and the employees' expectation, and it's becoming the standard used to guide the organization of what they are doing. Then, the last question, number 8. What is your expected grade in human resource management course? Are you sure that you can get the grade you expect in human resource management? How can you be so sure of that? The grade that I expect to get in human resource management is of course the highest grade, which is A. I'm sure that I can get that grade because of some reasons. First is I always come to the human resource management course and I never let come to the class and also never absent from the course. Then the second is I already do the presentation facts that given by the lecturer. Then the last is the most important, I already do the midterm exam by answering the questions in the form of video, and now I also doing the final exam. So I expect to get the highest grade in human resource management class, which is A. That's all for the question. I hope that what I'm saying is clear for you. Bye bye.